Hello, I am Brett from Bearded Man Studios, and today we'll be talking about don't destroy unload, the destroy on disconnect, allow ownership change, as well as the generate unique ID. So to begin, we'll start on the don't destroy unload, and what that means is whenever I do a scene transition in Unity, I want to ensure that my networked object does not get destroyed as it transitions from one scene to the next, and ensuring that the network information is staying intact as it does that transition over. So, to look at our example simple networked monobehavior, you'll see that I have booleans toggles that I'm able to set, and it says don't destroy unload, and I can toggle that on or off depending on how I want my game to interact with transitioning from one scene to the next. That is what the don't destroy unload does. It ensures that. Now, the destroy on disconnect. That means if either the host kicks me out, or I lose connectivity to this host, or something has caused my internet to be unstable, that I am not able to connect to it properly, so I am in theory disconnected from that host. Now, I as a server want to know if I want to destroy that object and how I want to handle that destroy or disconnect in general. So if you want the object that has been networked to be destroyed whenever there is a disconnect, you are able to simply set a boolean true here, which means that if there is ever a disconnect, it would also destroy that game object that is tied to the network for that user. And now moving on to the allow ownership change. The allow ownership change means that I am giving permission for whoever owns this object, whether it is the player who instantiated it or the server, to change the ownership of this object from one user to the next. That is what this boolean toggle will do. I'll go over that further and in depth in a future tutorial, but for now just know that that will allow it so that you are able to transition an object's ownership from one person to the next. Now to go over the generate unique ID. The generate unique ID is not something you are necessarily going to use in your code, but if there was any underlying networking that you needed to do on your end as far as generating a unique ID for the network that ties with the core networking solution that you have, and this is more so towards the people with the source code rather than towards the free version, is that you are able to generate a unique ID for the host and instantiate a client based on that ID that you're setting forth. This again is not something that you're normally going to use for your casual networking user or developer, or how you want to go about it. You generally are not going to call this, but it is there, and you can see how it is used just by doing generate unique ID, which is going to give me the network ID that is a unique ID for any simple networked monobehavior derivative objects. So if you have the source code and you want to change the way that objects are getting unique IDs, you would change this functionality here and modify it to your needs, whereas the common user is not going to really need to change much or even call this method at all. It is more so an internal call. It just does like a 1 plus to whatever it's currently at. So say this object is at 2 and I do an instantiate on another object that is the exact same as this, the next one is just going to have 3, and so on and so forth. So that is what the generate unique ID does. It is the one that sets the networked ID properly to a unique ID over the network. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, or any suggestions, and I will look at them and respond to them. Thank you for watching.